The Zoo Tycoon is a long franchise, beloved by many people, and it's now coming to Xbox One.
We really wanted to keep Zoo Tycoon fans happy, so you got all your simulation code in the background, all the important decisions you make for your zoo, those are all still there.
What we get across is both a realistic zoo simulation, but also captures the magic of going to the zoo.
The Xbox One has given us a vast amount of freedom to explore what we can do with particularly the animals. The animals are the stars of the show.
We're actually able to push the boundaries, make things look better than we've been able to do in the past.
We've made the animals as realistic as possible, so we've spent hours studying footage and studying how animals move, how they behave, how they interact with each other, how they interact with the environment.
We've got a really lively zoo. There are birds, there are butterflies, there's flocks of everything flying around. There's an awful lot of movement. We've got wind blowing through the trees.
In short, it looks like a real zoo.
We've got a great animation system called Motion Graph, which allows us to do all sorts of lifelike animations on the animals and have an amazing number of animals in the zoo at once. And the Xbox One is powerful enough that we can do that.
The realism that both the modelers and the animators have brought to the animals and their behaviour, it totally brings you in because you're believing in those animals in a way that you haven't before. We use the Xbox One's power to drive the rendering of the skin and the fur. We're doing short fur, long fur, shaggy fur. It gets wet, it moves, and it really shines like it never has before.
With Zoo Tycoon, we allow players to really grab the zoo and make it their own.
This Zoo Tycoon probably gives you more options and choice than you've ever had before, and so many different ways of experiencing that. So we've got 101 different animals. We've got 6 biomes full of decorations which you can unlock and buy. In amongst that, we've not only got the big exhibits with the large animals like hippos and rhinos, we've got mini exhibits so you can get meerkats, lemurs, macaws, snakes. There are so many different things that you can experience and unlock. And it's a very deep game. There are, literally millions of possibilities in terms of how you use those things together.
We've obviously developed for a console control pad, but we also use the power of Kinect on Xbox One to be able to use intuitive gestures to interact with the animals.
Get up and close and personal with, say, chimpanzees, and the Kinect will pick up your facial gestures.
You can get right up close to the animals, you can feed them, you can hose them down.
Yeah.
All the interactions, they're my favourite bits because you get really close.
Yeah.
The elephant washing is brilliant, he reacts to where you're spraying him.
You can use Kinect to get close to the animals that you ever could before. The Xbox One platform has allowed us to build in multiplayer, to build in all sorts of variety.
One person can be placing down attractions, another person can be adding an animal, another person can be feeding an elephant. You can go in 4 friends and you can just have fun.
You can basically share your zoo with other people. You can create a zoo collaboratively with your friends and you can save it onto the cloud.
Not just share and look at other people's zoos, but to actually create a zoo together.
So graphically, all these elements, the wind through the trees, the birds, the myriad of guests, the fur, the hide, all combine together graphically to give the level of fidelity and immersion that you've just never seen before in any Zoo Tycoon. And the fact that you can play with all these animals in such a way using Kinect HD and Xbox One's features is incredibly fresh, incredibly unique.
It's an amazing opportunity to release Zoo Tycoon on a new platform. I don't think you'll see an experience out there like this one.